In this video, I will be showing you how you can use a Alumio storage to store a value that you can use in a subsequent request. An example use case would be when you're going to do a product import and you're going to store the date of the import and you want to use this date of the last import for the next import. So what I will be doing, I will be going to connections and then to incoming. I'm going to create a new incoming configuration. I'm going to call this get products by date. Then down here we have a subscriber. With the subscriber, we can select the way we want to retrieve the data. I'm going to retrieve it through an API, so I'm going to choose the HTTP subscriber, but you can use any subscriber of your choice. Down here, you can provide a URL. I'm going to use a hypothetical API that's hypothetically going to return products. And then down here, I'm going to provide the request parameters. So let's say our hypothetical API has an endpoint that requires a filter parameter. And let's say this filter parameter is called fromDate. And this fromDate requires the value of the last import or the value of the date from where you want to start getting the new results. So usually what you would do is you would set a static value. But in this case, this is not really useful because instead of having the static value, I want to get a dynamic value. I want to get the value of the last import. So in order to do so, we need to make use of the input transformer. And with the input transformer, we can dynamically create variables that we can use with this request. So the transformer of choice in this case is going to be the get from storage. Then down here, we can select the storage that we want to read, the path in the storage, and then where we want to write it in our destination. So which variable are we going to make available? Well, step one is creating a storage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new storage. I'm going to call this product date tracker, something like this. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to go back to my incoming configuration and I'm going to say, okay, I want to read the data from the product date tracker. The path in the storage will be from date. So we're going to have to create a entry within the storage that contains the from date key. And we're going to write it to the from date key. So what will happen? Alumio will now get a value from this specific storage. It will look for the field called from date, and it's going to write a result to from date. So it's going to essentially make this variable available for further use. So now we'll scroll up, and I'm going to replace this by a placeholder. And this placeholder is basically our way to initiate a variable. And now I'm going to define the from date path in here. So let's say I'm going to change this to stored date. That means I would need to refer to the stored date value here. So the destination path essentially describes the available variable. So now what I will do is I will hit save. So when we run incoming, it will fail because the storage is empty. So we need to accommodate for this fact. So what are we going to do? So let me just show you the error right here quickly. It says, okay, key stored date not found in data. That's because the storage is currently empty. We just created it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a fallback value. So if the date is empty, then I want to have a fallback value which equals something like 2022. I'm just going to take today's date, but you can make it to whatever you want, right? Like this. So now I'm going to hit save. And now when I hit run incoming, it will end successfully. I will create a new, no, let's go to the logging, I mean. And when we take a view at the logs, we can see that it took the default value, which is the day of today. But now what I want to do, after it has run, so after we did the import, I want to write the current date time, so including the hour, the minutes, and the seconds, to a storage so we can use it in a subsequent request. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down to the entity transformers. I'm going to select the data transformer. And the first step will be to create a value setter. The value setter, you can define a key, whatever you want. So I'm going to call it current date. The value will be now. And then we are going to use a mapper to translate this string now to an actual date. And the mapper that we need in this case is the format date mapper. And the output format will be year, month, day, hour, minutes, seconds. So now what this will do, it will make a key available called current date with the value of the actual timestamp. Then we are going to do another data transformer to write this key to the storage. So we're going to say, okay, write to storage. We are going to select the same storage as we do in the input transformer. The storage path will be from date, so it's going to create an entry with the from date key. And the source path is the current date key that we created above. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit save. I'm going to run the incoming. And what now happens is that right now the storage is still empty, as you know, because we just added this transformer. So if we take a look at the logs, it still has the static date of 2022 02 18 0000. But now if we go to the storage and we go to the entities and we refresh this, we can see it contains a value. And this value has a from date of the most recent import. So now if I go back and I hit run incoming again, and I go to the logs, we will see that instead of this default value, it will pull the date from the storage. So as you can see here, now it provided a new timestamp. So it's 16/36/29. And now if I refresh the storage, we can also see that it will have updated this timestamp into the storage. So this way you can use a input transformer in combination with a storage to dynamically retrieve results.